Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, as well as advent boxes, limited edition boxes, and currently I'm also unboxing some 12 Days of Christmas boxes, so hopefully you can join me for that series. But I wanted to wish you all a very happy New Year's Eve and a very happy New Year. This is our last video of 2022 and hopefully we will have lots more in 2023. I figured I wanted to end with a limited edition that was meant for New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, I was unable to get in on the Once Upon a Book Club Up All Night box for this year, but luckily in that TBR pile of book boxes that I've been slowly working my way through over the last few months, and a lot of you have been so great about watching all of these catch-up videos, I actually had their 2021 Up All Night box that was actually sent to me as an appreciation gift for being part of their VIP program. Back in July, they decided to send out some boxes to VIP members, which I thought was so nice. So they gave us a list of boxes to choose from, and that was really one of the only adult boxes, because they also do young adult boxes. That was one of the only adult boxes that I didn't already have in that big pile in my possession. So I was very happy to get this, and I'm very happy to still have it so that we could share it together on this New Year's Eve. So these usually have a little bit of a different pricing, and obviously it is different from the monthly subscription, which is $49.99. And don't worry, I will leave my affiliate link and code for you. It's more of a referral code because when you use it, I do get a little bit of credit, which I'm then able to leverage into getting more of these boxes to share with you. But just in case you are unfamiliar, this is one of the book subscriptions, and they also, of course, do limited editions like this, where as you're reading along, you come to a page that has a sticky note, and then you open the corresponding gift. But for these Up All Night boxes, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a mini box where there's usually something to celebrate the new year, and then usually just maybe 2 or 3 gifts instead of the usual like 3 to 5 gifts. So it's a little bit less. I don't recall, in all honesty, the original price on this one. And as I mentioned, this year's actually sold out super duper fast. So you have to check, but this edition is still in the store. So this one didn't fly off the shelves. Maybe that's why they didn't have quite as many to go around for this year. But I've done their Halloween boxes. I'm going to be starting the Bridgerton box because they are currently shipping the second round, the other 4 volumes, and I never got around to reviewing the first volume. So since I am also sharing with you the giant book box, literally it is shaped like a book, in the 12 Days of Christmas series, I decided I wanted to share with you the Bridgerton one as well, and hopefully one of these days it will actually coincide with the new season of Bridgerton that should be coming out very, very soon as well. So all right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this. By the way, that code that you can use to get 10% off of your Once Upon a Book Club purchases is Noelle10, but it is very helpful if you go ahead and use that link. So inside this box shaped like a book. Now, I actually didn't open the gifts because I just thought it would be fun to open them with you on camera this time. I did read the book. Now, the reason that I had that thumbnail this time around, I don't know how much attention you pay to the thumbnails, it's because this book was spicy. I found myself a little bit shocked. I'm like, I guess I am a little bit of a prude when it comes to romances. So let me go ahead and share it with you. And then I'll share all the other fun stuff that was in here. There's actually 3 gifts, but I think only 2 of them had to do with actual page numbers. So it's called The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. And of course, it's got this Once Upon a Book Club sticker on the front. Cute little cartoon thing. I thought it was going to be like a cute little rom-com. Around, like, I think it was like around chapter 16, it got like not safe to read at work. Like, I was like, wow. And I feel it was like verging on like literotica. I was like, wow, that's intense. I would feel almost a little embarrassed if someone knew what I was reading. Well written, I'll say that. And I definitely kept on reading. It wasn't enough to keep me from continuing to read, but I could see how it would keep you up all night because it was a pretty thick book. I was like, you know, these days I don't read quite as much, so I'm not as fast of a reader as I used to be back in the day, but 373 pages, I was like, that is a lot to get through on a nice New Year's Eve by yourself with some champagne. And then I got to those later chapters and I was like, oh, okay. There we go. So let me go ahead and read the blurb on the back to you. It says, when a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. So a lot of the book is us hearing her inner monologue. The gal's name is Olive. It's got some of those classic rom-com tropes where, you know, she's this like unassuming scientist. She's got a little bit of an Elle Woods side to her where she's a little goofy, but like she's super tiny and super beautiful, but doesn't realize it, and like loves to eat food and is constantly trying to figure out ways as a poor grad student to get more food. So those kinds of tropes I kind of find like silly. I'm like, stop telling me that these itty bitty people don't realize that they're gorgeous and don't realize that it's annoying to the rest of us who can't just constantly eat all of the sugary, sweet, carby deliciousness. Anyway, as a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what's got her into this situation. Convincing Anne that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So, like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. Classic rom-com, right? Distract this person or convince this person that I'm in love with you by kissing the random person who you wind up falling in love with. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young, hotshot professor and well-known ass, which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. So there were a few moments where I was like, girl, you are smart. You can run all these assays and you know all this, and you're like on the cutting edge of pancreatic cancer research, and you can't like see these like common rom-com things where like, obviously, the person he's talking about, that he's in love with, is you, and why would you assume it would be anyone else when there's been no evidence of that at all? So there were a couple of those like moments which were like frustrating, but I guess that's just like goes with the genre. I don't know. It even has like the self-awareness to be like, I guess I've stepped into a rom-com. I was like, oh, that's like, and just like that, I've stepped into a rom-com, Carrie. Like she even says stuff like that, and at the same time, like, does the dumb things where she's like, I have to break it off with him because he's in love with someone else. I'm like, no, you don't. Don't be stupid. Anyway, let's see what the gifts were in the book, in the box. So we got Trust the Magic of New Beginnings, just a simple print. That you can't get more simple than that, but I don't mind that. Usually we get a 5x7 print in our regular monthly boxes. I probably would have liked that better because I'm not going to frame something quite this big, but that was fun. This is something that I've definitely seen people doing in the Once Upon a Book Club Facebook group. I'm not going to pull it out, but it is the 40 Books 2022 Reading Challenge. So it's only one scratch per title per challenge. Best of luck. So it's not like you're scratching this open to find a title that you have to read. You just have to do it when you read something in that category. The 40 Books 2022 Reading Challenge, I'll have to scratch out the 2 and do it for 3. But for example, it's like a book with a yellow spine, a classic novel you've never read before, a book set in a place you'd love to visit. So I think it was fun, and I've read a lot of the posts where people are like, give me a suggestion for a book written by an author with your same initials, both first and last. I was like, ooh, that's like, wow, that's the tricky one. So, because I would have to find an NN, which you'd think there'd be a lot more alliterative N names out there, but there aren't. So, all right, guys, we also received this fun little horn that says, new year, new chapter, write a good one. So you have to put that together, and then I'm not going to honk it at you, but that's how that goes. We also got our The Journey of a Lifetime starts with the turning of a page in their classic, beautiful Once Upon a Book Club packaging, which they have made for the box. This one is great because it actually doesn't have a page number on it. I mean, it's bookish, but this I could actually re-gift to someone without them thinking or knowing that I took it out of a book box. So we got a very simple champagne glass that has that very simple quote written on it as well. I wish it didn't. I mean, but then if it didn't have that on it, it wouldn't be very special and it would just be a cheap champagne glass. But I like the journey of a lifetime starts with the turning of a page. So perfect for your New Year's Eve at home or New Year's Day at home. I love New Year's Day because it does feel like a fresh start, but it also is like a day where I feel like it's very okay to not work, to really take some time off, which we all say we're going to do during the holidays and don't necessarily, because we're all so busy giving and getting. So let's see. We have two pages, and I didn't kind of prep by reading what they were all about, and I don't know what they what the gifts are. So this should be interesting, you guys. I'd better take a quick look. So we have page 82, and it's got a whole bunch of scientific formulas written on it. So I'm into that. I'm guessing it's probably like a tumbler of some sort. That's a very classic thing to receive in a book box. So let's see. They're having their fake dates because they're fake dating and they have to do it. She loves the word petrichor. Well, it's a very significant word in terms of like you notice it when you see it because you don't often see it, and it was definitely in this book at least twice. So let me see. Oh, she orders him chamomile tea at the coffee shop where all the grad students will see them, so it's nice and public, but he does not like chamomile tea, and meanwhile she loves what he thinks are gross things like PSLs and like unicorn Starbucks drinks, etc., etc. Let's see. I think, yeah, I'm gonna think that this is probably, maybe we should, all right, here. We're just gonna read from this page, even though it was at the very top of the other page. So it says, Olive inhaled deeply. Heaven. You hate pumpkin spice latte? He wrinkled his nose, moving even further away. Gross. How can you hate it? It's the best thing your country has produced in the past century. Please stand back. The stench. Hey, if I have to choose between you and pumpkin spice latte, maybe we should rethink our arrangement. He eyed her cup like it contained radioactive waste. Maybe we should. He held the door open for her as they exited the coffee shop, taking care not to come too close to her drink. Outside, it was starting to drizzle. Students were hastily picking up their laptops and notebooks from the patio tables to head to class or to move to the library. Olive had been in love with the rain since as far back as she could remember. She inhaled deeply and filled her lungs with petrichor, stopping with Adam under the canopy. He took a sip of his chamomile tea, and it made her smile. All right, you guys, so I'm guessing I thought it would be like one of those reusable coffee cups, but it's taller, so I'm thinking maybe he got her a Trente. Let's see. Oh yeah. So we got some Stash Chamomile Nights tea. That doesn't really go with their up all night theme, does it? And let's see, because they would be responsible. Whoop, yep, there's my metal straw. Metal straw, that's a good sign. I do like a good metal straw in my tumblers. Ta-da. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. I like this one. All right. Once Upon a Book Club, even though I'm a year late, like a proper year late, I still waited for the right holiday. Look how nice this is. It's got all of those fun equations. I have no idea. I'm not a math or science person. And this is very much taking place in the world of like STEM research. I have no idea if any of those are right. But sometimes I'm like, what's a y-axis? But it's got one of these nice little sippy cup tops. I think that is super cool. And it's got this nice strong cylinder shape versus like more like a cup shape where it's tapered. I like this. It looks really cool. It makes me feel like I should be smarter and better at this stuff than I am. I mean, I would love it if it had book quotes too, because in case you guys haven't guessed, I was an English major, which at my school was there was difference between being a literature major and an English major. Anyway, so I was an English major, just so you know. But here we go. And I like that. That was a good one. Even though I don't want to be drinking chamomile tea on New Year's Eve. I always make it to midnight, but I'm not always doing something exciting. New Year's Eve is kind of one of those letdown holidays, right? Then the only other gift that we got was on page 241. Let's see what this would be. Oh, this is fun. So again, the surrounding, so he buys her all the sweet drinks and all the like scones and all the treats at the coffee shop. And then they are also later on, once they've realized that of course they love each other, they go out to eat. And of course she can eat anything and she loves junk food and he's super healthy and eats real food. Let's see. The problem, he explained in hushed tones as they waited to be seated, was not the sushi train. It's one of those like conveyor belt sushi places. I actually used to love those, even though, yeah, the sushi there, not so good. But the all-you-can-eat for $20. It's never a good sign, he told her, but his voice sounded more resigned than combative, and when the server ushered them inside, he followed her meekly to the booth. Olive marveled at the plates traveling on the conveyor belt, weaving across the restaurant, unable to stop her open-mouthed grin. When she remembered Adam's presence and turned her attention back to him, he was staring at her with an expression halfway between exasperated and indulgent. You know, he told her, eyeing a seaweed salad passing by his shoulder, we could go to a real Japanese restaurant. I am happy to pay for however much sushi you want to eat. But will it move around me? He shook his head. I take it back. You are a disturbingly cheap date. Ta-da! All right. She ignored him and lifted the glass door, grabbing a roll and a chocolate donut. Adam muttered something that sounded like a lot like very authentic, and when the waitress stopped by, he ordered them both a beer. I totally missed that chocolate donut part when I first read it. I was just like, oh, I guess that's kind of like me and my husband. My husband is very healthy, but he's one of those people who like eats not to be hungry, and I eat because I love food. Like, yes, healthy, like whole food, but also like a good junk food, and I do love the novelty of a sushi conveyor belt restaurant. Yeah. Like real like oat sushi, a little bit lost on me in all honesty. It's one of those places where I diverge with Anthony Bourdain because I do not like uni. It's just not, no. All right, so this is what it looks like. Nice little ribbon. Let's see if I can I pull this off without untying it? I can. What? I'm hoping we're not getting sushi in here because it's been in here for a year. Page 241. All right, let's see. Oh, well, this is adorable. Okay. You guys, we did get sushi. Oh, no, I'm kidding. So we have a little Once Upon a Book Club like kind of note. Olive marveled at the plates traveling on the conveyor belt weaving across the restaurant. So these rolls actually look good. I actually just came from sushi with my girlfriend, Siobhan, which is so funny because I just mentioned her in my last video too. And she's actually the person that I mentioned in my very first video, you guys, 3.5 years ago. We do this thing where we get our nails done and then we go for sushi and we call it Nails and Tails. I know, you all want in, don't you? This is adorable. So we got these cute little, I'm guessing they're like melamine. Maybe they're just plastic. They're probably just plastic. Nope, melamine. Melamine little plates with all of the figures and the axes on them. That's actually super cute. Little like cocktail plates for, you know, the holiday, for your grad school party that you're throwing with your red Solo cups. So we got 6 of them. That's actually not stingy. That's pretty good. I think these are cute. I'm wondering if they're all exactly the same print. It's not like they had like a big sheet and then pressed the mold into them. They're super cute. I actually really like these, and I like that they're melamine, so, you know, a little bit fancier than paper plates, but also, you know, they're not gonna break. I think that's adorable. These are really cute. Like I said, the book surprised me because it was cute. It was predictable. There were moments when I wanted to shake her. There were moments when I was like, oh yeah, this is why I don't really read romance novels, because I just feel like I should be watching a rom-com movie, which I do have like a huge place in my heart for them. I love spending that, you know, 2-hour time with them. This was a little racy for me, guys. It was a little intense. But if you like that, if that's what you want to keep you up all night, I highly suggest this book. If you like a little like cheesy rom-com, you like a girl who's teeny tiny and can eat all the food, by all means, go ahead and read this book. I actually thought it was really good, and even the parts that were racy for prudish me, I was like, that's actually pretty well written. So, but again, I don't have much to compare it to. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all are doing something fabulous for New Year's Eve if you're watching this when it posts, whether it is a glamorous holiday party or you are just tucking in with a nice book, maybe a glass of champagne and fuzzy slippers. And I hope to see you all in the new year. Actually, you guys, we should probably have a secret password to finish out the year. So let's make it, just to be science-y, Let's make it hypothesis, because I love to see you guys try to spell words like that, because I know you're all doing it fast. So when you come across a secret password, you put it into the Google form that is linked for you in the description box below. At the end of the month, probably around January 4th or 5th, I will use a random number picker to select a few of you to receive a mystery box as a nice way to start the new year. You have to be 18 years or older. You have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. It is not associated with YouTube or any of the boxes. Just my way of saying thank you. And again, a huge, huge thank you to all of you who have watched my videos this year and hopefully in the new year as well. See you soon.